Samatva Center for Social Cause. Samatva is the Sanskrit word for equanimity. The organization was founded by advocate Shreyas N, who is visually impaired. His motive to build this organization stems from his own childhood experiences of rejection and learning to deal with the unfairness of society. Eventually, he was provided with the support he needed to reach out to the community of differently abled people and provide resources to fight discrimination. The word Samatva is the Indian concept of equanimity. The motto of the organization is oriented towards community service with inclusiveness by incorporating the ideas of mutual respect and understanding. It is an initiative aimed at empowering youth, marginalized, and persons with disability. The aim of our organization is to empower and work towards inclusion in a democratic sense. Our work includes providing legal pro bono aid, legal activism, and spreading awareness. We work to provide legal aid, advice, and activism. So, what is pro bono? The word pro bono means for the public good. It refers to professional services provided at low or no cost. Pro bono services are provided to people with minimal income or to people from vulnerable groups like women, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and persons with disabilities. So, why do we need legal pro bono aid? Newspaper clippings state minor girl with learning disability sold, tortured. Government drops disability related questions from National Family Health Survey. Aid for disabled pending for 8 months. Schools haven't become disabled friendly so far. Rights for Persons with Disabilities Act brought little change. Karnataka High Court, no disability favor in bail plea. Bus conductor pulled up for deboarding disabled cricketer. Disabled JU boy assaulted on campus. One stop solution to all these problems is pro bono services for people with disabilities and those who belong to marginalized communities. Our journey at Samatva began 5 years ago. We now have 29 lawyers all across India who are willing to offer their legal expertise, especially to people with visual impairment. Free legal aid and advice for individuals who belong to vulnerable groups such as scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, women, etc. We will now witness a segment from one of Samatva's pro bono cases. In this video, advocate Shreyas N is speaking to a client who provides feedback on the pro bono sessions provided to her. They also talk about some of the financial aspects of it.
Well, as you guys know, so this is Advocate Shreyas. I have with me, what's your name? Huh? Okay, I have with me. She's actually totally blind, and we are just trying to do a bit of pro bono legal. And she's blind. Her father is blind. Nim father blind, alma. And her sister is also impaired, blind. Okay. And so, ನಿನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅದು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು
So, what is the status of pro bono legal services in India? According to the Government of India, people are entitled to free legal services. The National Legal Services Authority, formed by the central government, provides legal services to people who belong to weaker sections of the society. It is aided and funded by the government. Litigation lawyers provide aid in matters related to personal issues like domestic violence, alimony, etc., and group based matters such as human rights, human trafficking, etc. A judgment passed as a result of Khatri and others versus State of Bihar and others 1981 states that the magistrate or the sessions judge is obligated to inform the accused that they can access free legal services at the cost of the state if they cannot use the services of a lawyer because of poverty or indigence. The judgment passed as a result of Suktas and another versus Union Territory of Arunachal 1986 suggested spreading legal awareness among the poor under the legal aid movement in India. A survey conducted by National Legal Services Authority in the years 2020 and 2021 suggests that from April to December in 2020, 2,130 pro bono cases were taken up across India. There were 6,31,758 beneficiaries of free legal services in India. Among all states in India, Maharashtra had the highest number of panel lawyers who provide free legal services. While Maharashtra had 5,326 such lawyers, Karnataka had only 2,901 panel lawyers. Another survey conducted by Gupta in 2017 covered statistics for the provision of pro bono legal services in India within private law firms. 11 out of 40 firms reported that they perform pro bono legal services regularly. Four of these firms had partners who were responsible for pro bono work. To encourage pro bono work, four firms counted pro bono work as billable hours. Most firms engaged in pro bono cases for altruistic purposes, such as giving back to society. In 2010 to 2011, one of the firms had its members perform 8,000 hours of pro bono work. Some firms took up litigation based cases for social causes or for people in need. Most of them wished to work on poverty alleviation through pro bono work. One of the firms advised government bodies on matters of microfinance. One firm had a separate department that conducted pro bono activity and advised social businesses and entrepreneurs on legal matters. Legal aid was given in the setting up of organizations, routine investments, drafting contracts, tax related matters, etc. The firms encourage pro bono work in areas of human development like education, legal awareness, and human rights. With 29 lawyers all across India, Samatva has been able to reach 23 people with each practitioner and plans to reach at least 100 by 2023.
What is a public interest litigation? It is a legal action taken when the rights of a group of people, especially marginalized groups, are put into question. It is initiated in order to enhance laws and legal rights that every individual is entitled to. What is the need for public interest litigations? People from marginalized communities experience several barriers that hold them back from resources that everyone has a right to have access to. These include inaccessibility to jobs, inaccessibility to reading materials, inaccessibility to public transport, infrastructural barriers, educational barriers, and financial barriers. Bringing the focus on inaccessibility to public transport, BMTC, or the Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation, proposed to make 840 buses disabled friendly by providing provisions such as ramp accessibility, announcements at bus stops and inside the buses, providing leg space, removing barriers at the bus gate to provide space for entry, making bus shelters well lit, and having footpaths with even surfaces to facilitate movement for everyone. The government promises to make public BMTC buses more friendly for use by people with disabilities, but there is a huge gap between the aim and the implementation of this commitment. Two newspaper article headlines state the following: no attention provided to disabled friendly buses. Physically challenged citizens still wait to board the bus. In 2022, Sunil Kumar Jain brought to attention that BMTC buses do not adhere to the guidelines of height set in order to make it more accessible to people with disabilities. There are no prescriptions for boarding devices on the buses for people who use wheelchairs. The ramps are inappropriately constructed and inaccessible. It is inconvenient to use public transport as people do not have patience to let us board the bus. We have a risk of falling down, and somehow, if we board the bus, the reserved seats are occupied by other people, and in some buses, they do not even have reserved seats for us, said Manjunath S. Janaki Vishwanath, the founder and director of Antarbhava, pointed out how the city fails to be accommodating to the needs of those with intellectual disabilities as well as physical disabilities. We interviewed 97 people who have visual impairment to understand their experience with accessibility of BMTC buses. This is what they had to say. Yeah, we don't hear that if they're on also. It's very rare, and what they'll do, they reduce the volume. They will play only the music, can't hear the stop or anything. And if we by mistake miss the stop and will get down in next stop, the conductor will get so angry. Don't know where he will get such anger. I always get down the wrong stop only. Because one thing, I always don't trust the conductors. They have their own work to do, and they need not remember my stop where I need to get down. I rely on the mobile applications. Firstly, they aren't audio announcements, and other drawback is the buses stop in between roads and not on the side of the lane. This is also becoming a big problem. But whenever I traveled, it was little difficult. I had to take help from others, but didn't know which stop. That is the thing. Though I can see partially, still get confused where is the stop coming to drop in. So that used to be the confusion. Suppose the bus stands at a signal. If I try getting in, I'm not allowed. The door itself isn't opened by the conductor or the driver. Since BMTC buses fail to provide the resources needed to make it accessible for people with disabilities, we initiated our own public interest litigation. We filed a writ petition with the High Court of Karnataka on 20th May 2022. These are the changes we expect if the petition is approved and brings a change in accessibility on BMTC buses. Right to equality, right to freedom, a sense of self-reliance, a sense of confidence in the system and yourself, being able to attend school, work, social events, and other occasions, reaching your destination on time, and living a life of dignity. You can view our brochure by scanning the QR code below. For queries, you can visit our website samatvacentre.org or send an email to samatvacentre@gmail.com. All the resources we have collected and used for this video have been cited. Thank you and have an amazing day.